because they don't come. Shoreline Management Protection Area in the law insists that they go to the neighborhood board. When did they do that? They didn't for over here. They avoided Tom Berg's meeting with the community. Due diligence with due care in due time. That is the law. Not followed. Not followed. How would you know? Okay. Okay. Please, someone has a different opinion. Please speak.
I have a different opinion.
No. Let's let Shireen has the floor. Shireen.
All of this is part of what the sake of giving to the sake of Oneula Beach Park. When the city went through the process to get their special management area permit, all of this was discussed. They included this area, including the construction of the new road.
Never.
The alignment is included in that master plan that the park
we don't have a master plan.
With the community on.
We don't have a
It's
master
something
plan.
that the city did. The city went back through that process and they got that SMT, I think it was in 2001 or 2002. Since then, before construction began, we make sure we do it in writing and in person at the neighborhood board and bring copies about what is going to be coming here. So people know before construction starts what is expected to occur. But the discussion and the dialogue and all of that occurred almost a decade ago.
No.
It takes a long time to go through the process. But that was a city permit that was done that includes the construction of the new roadway that you see.
It's never in a you-know-that agreement.
Please
It's never in a you-know-that
give
agreement.
her the respect. Okay, this is what Shireen is talking about. This is the plan that Shireen is mentioning. And this was the approved little plan. Very little detail.
Upside down.
Very, very little detail. Doesn't say very much. It's very nondescript. It's very low-key. It's very easy to see nothing. And that's the problem. What Shireen doesn't talk about is when the community asked her to go to Tom Berg's meeting.
And I was out of town.
You were out of town, but you could have sent somebody. This plan, they never show you. This is the plan they don't want you to see. This is the plan that Tom Berg's committee decided. This is phase two. For the drainage, the ditch that you're going to build here.
Separate from, you understand that there are different plans for different projects.
And you understand the community's interest to know. If you make an ingredients in something and it's so good, don't you want to tell people what the good ingredients you have in your pie?
Well,
don't you want to?
Once plans get approved from the city, they're looking at this as an example of a way to move forward with it's an alternative way to deal with drainage.
But
we haven't received the final approvals for that
but
Once we do, then we write about it, we explain to people how it's supposed to work. But we don't do that
Mike, let me comment on what
This is the 1870. Okay, this is the 1873 map of Oneula. It has my grandfather's ranch, the Big Tree Ranch, Kalailoa over here, Kualaka'i over here, Oneula, which we just came from, and it has this heiau. There's a fisherman's heiau over here, which is right in back over here. It's right on the map. Okay, the problem with this map, it was never done to scale because you have the salt works, which is by the entrance here. You've got Oneula and the salt works in a much shorter distance than Kualaka'i to Oneula, so this is not topographically correct, just by scale. From Kalailoa to Kualakai, excuse me, from Kualakai to Oneula, there's a definite scale differential. And then you have Oneula to this little feature here. Where's the due diligence? Where's the due care? Where's the due time? Okay. And then you have the salt works next to the mouth. So is this further down, or is it that feature of rocks? There's a square feature of rocks right in back here that is hidden by these bushes. Is this not important for our cultural assessment to follow through? We've got the map. You know, why does it take a novice to do what you're supposed to do under the environmental, what you call it, the environmental assessment and the EIS? okay, what the cultural assessment of this thing is. What did they say? Scrub brush and mongoose. Well, get in the scrub brush, get in with the mongoose and find out what's back there. See, you know better, you do better. Yes.
Excuse me, but this scrub brush, most people don't know. Most of this is Hawaiian medicine. Gathering
Any questions? Features right here. You see on the map. You see on the map. It's back here. When you go through this thing, you'll see a square inside here of yeah. You'll have to go back here. You'll see the lava rocks in a square. Not lava rocks, but the white coral in a square. Yeah. So it's something to investigate. Okay.
Michael, is this your last night?
No, we have one more and then that's it. We founded the Eva Limu project back in August of 1998 to teach people the proper way to pick limu and to plant limu, to give back. Kind of mihi, what has been done with the selfishness of take. It's about time we konehiki and give back. This site is very important because covered here, as Uncle Henry and Uncle Oneula would know, that there is another underground cavern over here that makes that tree bloom so much that if you go to the right, the spring is out there. Again, another contributory, A plus B equals C to the ocean. So putting in a ditch 20 feet deep is going to cut into the source and fill that ditch up as a big pond. You heard it here first. They're going to make a big pond. That's what they're doing. They don't know it, but don't ask the cultural practitioner. Kahuna Omaka. Listen and see the rhythms of what's going on. Right here, Stewart Engineering, its report that did the grubbling, it is anticipated that the actual, this is page 9D, it is anticipated that the actual seepage rates from the completed trench will be higher than estimated. The test results due to the great probability of encountering underground channels and cavities and continued trenching as compared to the discrete test pits. That's the above test pits. Stewart Engineering that did the grubbling. After I said, don't come here, this is my cultural place for my, they say the drainage is going to be really terrific because there's channels. The spring over here, the spring over there, there's another spring over there. They're natural channels, they're natural drainage to the ocean. Stewart Engineering, their own results. And when did you get to see this? For the transparency, A plus B equals C, you know better, you do better. Because Judge Hifu's ruling on our case for Papipi Road, what is the long-term cumulative effects of heavy metal runoff going to be on Mr. Lee's cultural practice, i.e. the limu invertebrates, ... Do you see a pattern? Okay. The deception should not be there. If you allow the public in, you have best practices because questions are put on the table. Tell me, when did you hear these questions ever in the so-called public announcements or whatever? Because most people can't get a copy of what Stewart Engineering has on page 9, okay, section 5. So how can you do better when you don't know hidden treasures? But if that's not your thing, to go and do research, it ain't gonna happen. Best practices. Okay, that's what today is all about. They can't go back and say, we didn't know. They built that monstrosity, destroyed the Eevee, the Eevee come up. They're looking at a massive lawsuit. I'm the kahu, the keeper. They're gonna get it if they do what I've been warning them for years now. Don't do this. Okay, the results are when the big rains came, Waianae had the medical waste and brown water. Did we have brown water? Not a chance. Because Papipi and Kalo'i stopped that from happening. The retention dams held. Okay, that's what we're talking about, best practices. Any questions? Yes.
Are you
I'm finished.
I mean-
My presentation is finished.